Live from Houston, the Houston Internationals finals and super fights now getting underway with the finals here. Billy Swinney, Ryan Linney, and Zach Borrego from San Antonio here. Welcome to Zach.
Yes.
Glad to have you up here to commentate with us during these fights.
Glad to be here.
Zach is a first-degree black belt and up here veteran of the competition circuit himself.
Yes.
Yeah. His brother's going to be fighting later on tonight, which is going to be a lot of fun. And we're getting underway with the finals here. First is Forum. And this is Mr. Austin Rogers. Right. Beautiful technique. My voice may be going out a little bit. I competed earlier today, so my voice is gone.
Yeah.
So welcome, everybody, to the Referral Sports Network as we bring you something a little different. First time we've ever done Sport Karate live on the air. As Mr. Rogers finishes up his form here. Himself will be in the super fights later. He'll be taking on Yuli Yosef, which will be a battle.
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't seen point sparring here, a punch is 1 point, 2 point kicks up high, and a spinning kick to the head is 3. So it gets a little intense sometimes. We're going to have some fun.
That, what was his name? Austin? That just competed right now?
Oh, Austin Rogers?
Yeah, he looked real sharp, man.
Yeah, he's real sharp looking.
Katas are always a good test to see how they're going to spar, so I'm excited to see him spar. He looked real sharp. Everything was crisp, you know.
Yeah. And that's what they judge in these forms is, you know, poise, balance, and how sharp and snaps. Till we get to creative weapons, which you're fixing to see here in just a minute with the bow staff. We have competitors here all the way from 3 years old to 70 years old today.
Both equally entertaining.
Yep. Sport karate, the sport itself has been around quite some time, deep in the 50s when it was bare knuckle for a while. I mean, there was no pads.
Yeah.
It just,
I hear some stories all the
and
time,
it wasn't
man.
bandages and band-aids. It was just duct tape and
Yeah.
spit. And dirt, yeah. There we go with a bow form. This is a sport bow, so musical form, weapons. And this is grand championships from the tournament earlier. All these are first place winners, and a grand champion will be picked out of all of them for the event. And we'll have some super fights right after this. So stay with us. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of fighting going on here in a little while. So a lot of these forms don't look like much, but there's so much work put into them.
Oh, 100%, man. I tell kids all the time, you know, especially at our gym, people that want to get into this creative stuff, man, you got to have, you know,
and a lot of the people
coordination.
don't get to see the sport side of it, where
Right.
you see creative weapons like this. If he drops that, it discounts his score. He loses points. And about 90% of it is real technique that is learned in a real karate class for self-defense.
I used to, obviously compete as a kid, and what a lot of people don't know is a lot of these tricks and stuff are these students come up with them themselves. There's not much that are being taught from their instructors. So kudos to him, coming up with all that stuff.
And so they'll pick a grand champion out of these three. Traditional, creative, and a creative weapons. We say Austin Rogers on the far left there. He will be fighting here in just a little while in the super fights. Those fights get pretty intense. And they can score here from anywhere from a 9-1-0 to a 9 to a 10. Adam scores pretty high there. Takes the lead in the grand championship.
Ashe, just prepare your score. Judges, score 9.6, 9.5.
So Mr. Austin Rogers.
7, no 9.7, 9.8.
Looks like he took it.
Yeah. So Mr. Rogers.
Our next competitor is David Sampson.
There we come with a traditional form here. David Chambers, student here. He is the promoter of this event. Standard introduction. Permission to begin. Competitors range from Florida, from Virginia, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. All here today representing. And 2 from California.
It's got a good pace going on so far.
Good start to that.
Judges, prepare your score. For David Sampson, judges. Score 9.8.
Mr. Sampson.
9.6, 9.7. Competitive.
Still not enough to take Austin out of the lead. So I believe the
Victory. You have 12 seconds. The calculated junior female grand jury.
I think that was a good display of, what sport karate can entail. You had, traditional forms all the way to weapons with music. It's a very wide range that sport karate has.
Yeah.
Check this score, check this score, check this
You see the different styles, the different techniques.
We have a tie.
Referral sports. They would mostly do a lot of high school sports, but there are several instructors working along here trying to get this to be a high school sport. And
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think, martial arts in general, whether you compete or you don't, there's a lot of good, just teachings that martial arts brings that is essential, for just being successful in life.
Right,
So,
and
I would-
focus and everything else.
Exactly.
But the nice thing about this sport, as compared to a lot of other sports, no one is left out. A blind
Exactly.
person can do this.
Right.
A person in a wheelchair can compete. but there is a handicap division. I mean, nobody is left out. You can't be said you're too skinny, you're too short,
Right.
or you're too fat. Everybody can do this.
Yes.
Adult grand forms on deck. Adult grand forms.
Did we have a tie here? Is that what this is? A tiebreaker?
Yeah. So we have a tiebreaker for Grants.
Can expect them to pick up, you know, the
That happens,
intensity a little
that happens
bit.
quite a bit today. I went through 2 tiebreakers myself
Yeah.
in my division. Some musical weapons for him. We'll get to see his again. And he has to do a different form than he did the first time, so. Oh, and that will cost a little bit off the score. Standard form, creative weapons. You have 3 minutes to complete it. But if you drop your weapon,
You know,
it's
even
a
that
big
little
mark off.
drop, there was still a whole bunch of, you know, crazy tricks that he was doing, so props to him.
And Mr. Sampson up for his creative. Let's see what he comes up different. With a different type of form here.
I always thought growing up, you know, traditional forms are a little bit more difficult because it's every detail is looked at, you know, and to make the form look nice, you have to make sure all those details are in check.
Well, it is a little bit different. I've competed traditional most of my career, and it has to be precise.
Right.
Every technique has to be there. No wobbles or anything like that.
Good land.
And it has to be a form from hundreds of years ago.
Right, right. You have people who know what you're supposed to be doing.
This is more of a creative to where it can be modified. Traditional is handed down years and eons and decades. So it's very old.
Both competitors step forward. Sashay, step forward.
So one of these two guys.
Officer Ashay, just prepare your score and score. 9.0, 9.0, 9.0. Oh, good job, sir. Good job, sir.
So I guess they're going to go 9-0-9-1 here.
Yeah.
Step forward. Just prepare your score. Check the score. 9.6, 9 point something. 9.9, 9.7. I ran champ for the juniors, for the juniors. My co-producer is going to walk on stage and award it. And my sensei, the week's going to walk on stage and award.
David Chambers on the microphone over there. Promoter of the Houston Internationals and Super
And
Fights.
the winner today goes to David Sampson. Give him a hand clap, give him a hand clap.
That was a good way to open up the live, man. That was just a lot of different styles, different techniques, you know, showing the
And the next Grand Championship, you're going to see some very dynamic stuff.
yeah, I see.
You're going to see some of the best competitors in the country in this next
Yeah.
division.
I know Sensei Doss has been around for a while, so I'm excited to see him. compete.
I watched
He's
Jeff Doss grow up from a little bitty boy,
Yeah.
yeah, but he has still got the most beautiful kicks, I think, in competition I've ever seen.
Yeah, he can do some crazy stuff.
Over We
He has
got
a-
competitors from Boston, Maryland. We got competitors from our own.
And I was shocked to find out he was 49 years old.
Is he really?
He's finally caught up, and we competed against each other today, and I beat him.
Wow.
And I was shocked to beat him
Yeah.
because he's so good. Jeff is intense when he gets the stage. From Rustburg, Virginia, Jeff Doss has probably more grand championships than anybody in this room ever since he was 9 years old.
Yes.
Judges, representing Grand Slam Martial Arts, I am Jeff Doss. With your permission, may I begin?
His nickname is Sushi.
We'll have to ask him how he got that nickname. Man.
He gets real intense. It's a blast watching Jeff.
Very entertaining.
So this is where you get to see some dynamic stuff. Creative form with the comma. Here comes those kicks. Nice and sharp.
I think that was 9 kicks.
Yeah, he's got some pretty kicks, I'm telling you. Look at this, balance. And here we go with a little bit extra.
Oh, wow.
And that is Jeff Doss from Rustburg, Virginia, folks.
Wow.
Really dynamic, really
And
exciting to
creative.
watch.
He had some pockets for other weapons, man. That was pretty interesting.
We were in the NBL together, which is the National Black Belt League. And he's won more of the grand titles than anybody else. I think he retired with 15
Wow.
grand championships in the World
Yeah.
Games. Here comes Cameron. He's from North Carolina.
Judges, represent Team America. I can't wait to put this back in.
Do a creative form, no weapons.
That was nice.
Pure forms competition.
You know, whenever I see stuff like that, I don't think people realize like how hard it is to move that fast for that long
No,
period of time.
and to
you
keep
know?
your body from flying
Exactly.
off of the
yeah,
stage.
not to mention all the other stuff.
Because you get a lot of momentum when you start those high kicks and then flying in the air.
Yep.
And here we come with a traditional. This is a more traditional handed down from Japanese. This will be a Japanese traditional form. This is now in the Olympics. Was introduced this last time in Japan.
That's right. That's right.
That and fighting, which they call the kumite. very sharp and crisp.
You can hear her gi snapping all the way from over here.
You know, this is like I compete in this division, and you have to stop and let the judges see your technique. Has to be, they judge on power, balance, and technique here.
Can feel the intensity in the room. Man.
Oh, I know. Good stops. Very powerful. That's the thing in the martial arts. The girls bring it. I mean, the girls bring it. No wobble at all.
Oh, sharp.
Very nice. She'll make it tough
Stepping forward is Jeff Goss.
out of this three-person grand championship.
Judges. Score. 9.8, 9.7, 9.9. Good job. Good job. Cam, step forward.
This one's gonna be close.
Prepare your score.
It looks like it. We might even get a tie.
Score. Oh, my apologies, sir. 9.8, 9.5, 9.8.
Jeff Dawson first.
Sir, step forward.
Let's see what we got here.
Judges, prepare your score. Score. 9.9, 9.6, 9.8. Miss Kate Bernard to the microphone.
So we have Jeff leading.
Our next competitor,
Jeff,
final competitor,
it looks like
is Jason Castro.
Jason, the fourth out of the group. They judge the first three, and then the rest come up single at a time and get scored. And Jason here used to live in San Antonio. Now he lives in Austin.
Okay.
Jason Castro, him and I have competed against each other. He's a very sharp competitor, Japanese stylist. That's why we tangle all the time, because I'm a Korean stylist. I do more of the Taekwondo. He does the Shotokan.
You'll see a lot of the difference. A lot of Korean style forms will have a little bit more kicks, more upright stances.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, I was just kind of trying to compare the difference.
Oh, yeah. It's a lower stance in Japanese. The kicks are lower. One of the major things out of it is, like when NBL separated the divisions.
That's
You
right,
had
I
a
remember
Korean
that,
division, you
yeah.
had a Japanese. Here, they're combined.
Everything's together.
Jason, more of a speed presenter. His movements are really fast. about a traditional and you're moving that fast, you cannot move your feet once they plant. You just can't do it. Once you do it, that takes points off. And that's hard. When you get up in the air and you have to stick, it's just like gymnastics. You can't wobble.
Takes a lot of core strength, of course, balance, but a lot of these guys, you'll see them before they start their form, they're not sweating, and when they finish, they're like drenched,
Yeah. Garrett Lee's one of those. I mean, he needs like 12 towels after he gets through his, and I don't hardly sweat at all in mine. Of course, they fixed the air conditioning in this building.
Yes,
We
I've
have like
noticed
4
since this
tournaments here a
morning.
year,
Oh, wow.
and it used to be 100 degrees in here. There's Jason Castro.
It's good form.
Good job, good job. Mr. Castro. Judges, prepare your score. Judges, score 9.8, 9.5, 9.7. Competitors, step back to the floor.
Later on, we have 8 slated fights coming up from some of the best fighters in the area of this area of the United States.
If my math's correct, I think Jeff's still in the lead, but I could be wrong.
They receive a gold watch and they receive a little money, My co-producer and one of my sons that I almost the winner goes to Mr. Jeff Doss.
Yep.
Jeff Doss takes the grand championship for the adult black belt.
Get to add one of those to his trophy room.
Mr. Doss is traveling from
The thing that's different, the super fights coming up here in a little bit. In regular competition sparring, you have to wear a certain amount of pads and a shirt. Tonight, super fights, it's optional.
That's fun, man. I think that's what sport karate needs, to continue to elevate the sport, is giving these guys a platform and let them show their character a little bit, while they fight.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's 8 people in this room that used to compete in this, and they didn't wear any pads.
Right.
And to go each week and hit somebody in the head with your bare fist, they would just, if they broke their fingers, they'd duct tape their hand and go to the next tournament.
Yeah.
Tough as nails.
That's the old school karate right there.
But the nice thing about the super fights tonight, you'll see it gets them more intense than regular competition. Fights are, it's not contactless. They will hit each other.
Right, yeah. It just kind of is probably human nature. You get up on a stage, you have people watching, it makes you a little more intense. So I'm excited, man. I really am.
I mean, it's not like the MMA where they can pop them in the head until they're out. Here,
Right.
it's more controlled. It's got to be a controlled technique to get the points. There's Inocencio. She's coming up later in the fight. She's from y'all's
Yeah,
neck of
she's
the woods,
from
the
our
dojo.
school. She's from the dojo, yes.
Zach's dad, Greg Borrego, runs the dojo in San Antonio. And it looks like we're going to get some traditional here.
Sensei Sampson. I need you up here.
Oh, we're going to get some fight. This is point sparring coming up. And the points about the same. Punches 1 point. Oh, no, this is not a super fight. This is regular grand championship. Super fight's coming up soon. But we're just getting the day first place winners grand championships decided, and then we're going to move into the super fights. And things get dicey from there.
Yeah, the grand champion fights, just for anybody who's not too sure, each one of these are winners in their own division, and now it's going to be a grand division, and they'll compete.
Right. All the first place
Correct.
fighters will fight each other.
You'll
course,
see some
barring
weight class differences.
Age and weight.
Right, yeah.
So you won't see any 6-year-olds taking on 30-year-olds. But you'll see we'll have some boys fighting and girls fighting. Probably the teenage boys are the most intense in the regular divisions. We call it the black and blue division. But we're going to get some girls first here, I think.
Let me ask you a question real fast. Did you win first? Yes, no? So if you won first,
And are we getting a preview of tonight's super fight?
you are fighting for brands now, and if you do real good, I fight that you still fighting the Super Bowl.
It looks like we're going to get a preview of the super fight later between these two ladies.
Is that who this matchup is?
Yes.
You have
Oh,
2
wow.
minutes, it's a full 2 minutes. It's a full 2 minutes, but it's for brands. Full 2 minutes. Us.
It's a
Grandmaster
2-minute fight.
Perez is head judge. Grandmaster Villarreal.
Inocencio from San Antonio.
Stevens is side judge. Grandmaster
Raider from
Stewart is
here
side judge. Grandmaster
in the Houston
Mills
area.
is side judge.
As we get the girls' fights underway here.
Like you said earlier, man, these girls bring it, so it's going to get intense real quick.
You know a lot about Inocencio. You've seen her.
Yeah. She's
She's in the red.
She relies a lot on her sidekick. She'll want to establish that, use her movement. She's going to be a smaller fighter in this matchup.
And
Grand champion men on deck. Grand champion men on the side on deck.
no call there. And point over to Raider in the black. Two points over, 3-0. 1 point over for the headshot.
There's that side kick.
Yeah, first coming up. Not enough on that one. Has to be a majority of the judges call it. 2 points over the Raiders.
It's a full 2 minutes on Super Grand. Full on Super on Grand.
Two over the Raiders.
Looks like this competitor.
And here comes the
got
bottle
some,
in time.
Good kicks.
You got 10 seconds. You got 10 seconds.
So 10 seconds, and then they'll fight another minute. There's your dad over there coaching Inocencio. We get started here in the second minute.
On stage, next, on deck.
And exchange there. 2 to
She's going to
Inocencio.
have to pick it up. She's going to want to get back in this.
There.
She need to be a little bit more
Nearly
offensive.
a headshot. 2 over to black. 2 more that way. Commanding lead here by Raider. A 1 point.
If I'm not mistaken, it's 11 to 4.
Yeah.
Miranda's going to need to pick it up a little bit.
She's starting to move around a bit more around the ring
Yeah.
and make her chase come get those points. Sometimes it's better to fight defensively, but you only have a limited time. 12-5 is the final score here.
Our next 1 minute.
And I don't know if I know these ladies or not.
West Texas. I see West Texas. Before I see Mississippi. I see West Texas. And I see Mississippi. Ashton is white. This is for grand champion. This is for
Red will have to come back in and win another fight to win the grand championship title here.
who is it going to be?
Apparently, three
And the
girls
grand
in the running
champions,
here.
this is, they are given money, the winner, correct?
If y'all think it might be West Texas, say something. Say if you think it's West Texas, say something. I mean, Roy Nation, you know where
Here we go.
And like I say, even if it's the grand championship, some of these can get pretty crazy.
Yeah.
let's go.
You have to try to build an early lead, but it's tough sometimes. These girls, I think girls make the best fighters. I
Oh,
really
for
do.
sure.
Low center of gravity,
Jump in on that.
spinning kick, head, hammer fisted head, but a point is called. No confirmation, so still at 0-0. Right, it measures. 1 point over the Raiders, so it's 1-0. Leader at the end of 2 minutes wins the grand championship here. Nice spinning back fist. Blind technique's kind of tough like that. You can get in real
Yeah.
trouble real fast if you turn your back on an opponent.
That's where timing takes place. You know, you need the right timing to make sure that that point scores.
And Bottles in, time's up on the first round. So they get to go to their coaches for 10 seconds. And then we start round number 2.
Score is 2-0.
Raiders in the lead here.
Facebook Live. This is live stream on Twitter. This is live stream. All the way up. We got 1 minute. The score is 2-0. The score is 2-0.
2-0. And now it's 2-1. The Raiders still leading. Force in there. Point's going to go over. Tied
It's
up
tied
at
up,
2. There, if time runs out, they will go to sudden death. I don't know what that was, whether that was a bailout or. Okay, over 3-2 now. Okay, 4-2. And this comes it off. 1 point that way. 5-2. Five to 3. Raiders trying to catch up, but not enough time. So she
That's how
will
fast things can turn in sport karate, man.
lose that match. The young lady in white wins the grand championship. 5-3. Raiders just didn't have enough time to come back.
Grand champion female from Mississippi.
Welcome everybody. And joining us here on the Referral Sports Network, Ryan Liddy on the camera, Billy Swinney with Zach Borrego here at the commentary, getting ready for the super fights here in just a little while. We're doing grand championships for the Houston International Karate Tournament right now, but the super fights are coming up shortly. We have 8 fights slated, and that's when things will get really intense. Watching the great talent from around the country here that has competed today. All the first places going for the grand championships. We expected only to broadcast the super fights, but we figured we'd do the finals just to see people who have never seen this before, which there's a lot of our watchers have never seen it before, can see what this is like.
And this
a
is
sport
going on
that is
pretty much
usually
from-
concealed.
No, I was just gonna say this goes on from 9 o'clock till what time are we at?
Oh, I
3,
know.
You know.
9 o'clock in the morning, sometimes till midnight, 1
Yeah.
o'clock. We finished pretty good today, but I've been at some tournaments here that didn't finish until 2:30 in the morning.
Oh wow.
And you're still people fighting. That's a long day.
Yeah.
So grand champion is crowned.
Adult men on stage. Adult men.
So we're fixing to get the adult men black belt fighters.
Adult men. 18 plus. First call. And last call.
First and last by David Chambers there, the promoter of this event. Oh, I must have threw it off again.
Mr. Marshall. You should be on stage, sir.
Is there any way I could pick up the volume in these?
Pick up his phone. We'll test it out. Speak.
Maybe a little bit louder.
I can hear you. Real
Perfect.
loud.
That's good right there. Yeah.
That's even better because I couldn't hear you very.
Yeah.
I mean, I
think-
could hear you, but I couldn't.
Once everyone starts yelling and the music, it's
Yeah,
gonna
hard
get
to
loud.
hear. Even with our headphones on, the crowd noise is loud.
Yep. Yep.
Adult men, run on stage real fast.
I mean, it's not like you go to a boxing match. A boxing match is, I mean, when people start cheering at a karate tournament, it's loud. So adult men are taking the stage. We will be seeing one of these guys in the super fights later.
This is the adult men grand champion, correct?
Yes. Adult man 18 plus black belt. D. Jones, who is in the white uniform on the left there, he will be coming up later in the super fights. He'll be facing Mason. Who's a little bit taller than him.
Yeah,
But, you know,
a little lanky.
yeah. And, you know, a lot of people take it different ways. It's harder to fight a shorter person. But if you got long legs and long arms, it's hard to get close.
Yes.
But once you do, you're out of danger pretty much.
Yep.
Not a hand or a foot's going to hit you. So they're picking the order of how they will fight here for the Grand Championship.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, to see who goes first, who gets the bye. Because one will get a bye. Some of our Chambers students here in the blue and Jones in the white, who we will see later in the super fights. Now, Zach, I don't know how many of these you've really been to, but when it gets into this age group, it gets crazy.
Hand clap, give them a hand clap, let's get big, let's go.
We call this the bruised and bloody division.
Yes.
Pound in and let's go.
You know, but a lot of the same aspects in sport karate do transfer over. You know, you got to have speed, you got to have the correct timing. All of those things are being shown while trying to get the points. But to your point, you know, you get to save yourself from the bloody noses and
Let's hope that doesn't happen, or I have to leave this table. I'm the medic here at this event. But you know, most people will say, "Well, this looks like a big game of tag." But I got to tell you, when you get hit, even with one of these gloves,
oh,
you
100%.
feel it. And yeah, you may have a headgear on your head, Did you get a foot upside there? You're seeing double for a few seconds.
Yes.
It'll ring your bell a little bit. No different than Olympic boxing wearing headgear. And
Right.
It's not the same. Except here, the martial arts, you focus on an area to hit because you can hit points or anywhere on the front of the body and the head. They used to have kidney shots and groin shots, but you don't see that often anymore. There's no scoring to the back or to the legs.
This is for grands right here. This is for grands right here.
Here it's not so much as the stamina as the dynamic of making contact.
You can't take everything today. I want you to know that. Grandmaster Nash, you can't take everything today. Let's go, Mr. Marshall. Show the north side about Mr. Marshall. Let's go.
And here we go. 1 point to blue. That's an Army here. Uniform in the black and white. He picks up a point, tied up at 1. You see he gets that hand right in the head there with a blitz. He's up 2-1.
That's where he's using his length.
Yeah,
He
the
can
long
come over
legs
the top like that. Yeah.
and long arms are an advantage here. Underneath with the shovel punch into the ribs. North side. 2-2. Here at the stop, we'll see if there's a point called. Should be 3-2 from the gentleman from Mississippi in the black and white.
You know, both fighters so far are executing, you know, kind of their game plan, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
Every time this fighter to the right keeps his distance, he scores. Every time the shorter fighter gets inside, he scores.
Whoa. Nice blitz in there. He gets the point. 5-2. Mississippi leads Houston here. Houston in the blue. Northside Karate. And underneath comes the point. Picks it up. 3-1 in this round. No confirmation. Has to be a majority of the 5 judges. Over to Texas here. 4-1. And time.
Give him a hand clap. That's what I'm talking about.
Gentleman from Mississippi, the black and the white, wins the first match here.
Goes to
So he will face Mr. Jones for the grand championship.
Mississippi. Mr. DeMarcus, go back on stage, sir. Go back on stage, sir. Good job, Mr. Mr. Marshall.
He gets a minute of rest before the next fight. Get a little air. Because it may just be a minute each round, but boy, you get winded.
Yep. Which, let me tell you, is not very long.
No, it doesn't take very long. Moving like this and jumping and lunging, and
Yeah.
it
35
takes
plus.
a lot out of it.
First call, 35 plus. Let's go. 35 plus. Female. Not female. Male, excuse me. 35 plus male. First call. Last call. First and last call.
And as we move up the card, as we get closer and closer to super fights, things just get more and more intense. Well, Mr. wins the grand championship. I don't know if Jones was in the wrong division there or wants to save himself for super fights.
35
Probably.
plus to be on the side.
Because
Miss Sam, you gonna have one
these fighters do get a check
Mr. Bryant.
from the tournament. I think it's a $200 check for the regular tournament. And super fights gets a little bit higher.
Mr. Bryant, come this way, sir.
Some dinner money.
Yep.
Last call for the 35
Go
plus.
eat at the Galleria for one check.
Yeah.
Welcome to Referral Sports Network. See ya. Hiya, BJ. Glad to see you watching. These kids are part of Referral Karate Academy. And Referral Karate team did pretty
We
good
have
today with
all the way
first
from
place and two
New
second
York.
places
I want to pronounce that correctly,
here
sir. Pronounce that correctly, sir.
today at the Houston Internationals.
Mr. Eulick from New York. He said he wanted to do something. But we got something from Dallas.
Yuli Yosef here, all the way from New York City.
Yeah. That's some ways,
Here it
man.
is.
Super fight's about to get started real soon. Super fight's about to get started in about 15 minutes. Be ready, be ready.
David said 10 minutes for super fights. This is a grand, you'll see Yuli fighting in the super fights here in a minute. This is for a grand championship.
First super fight will be Miss Mail, and Miss
And this is the crazy thing about point sparring in the sport karate is you have to keep yourself, you see Mr. Yosef pacing back and forth, preparing himself, because it's not about just scoring points, it's avoiding getting hit,
Right. Yeah.
which that's why it takes so much sap out of you, is because you're trying to avoid getting hit and score
We
points.
have Mr. Brent Rogers.
This headgear does not fit, so he has to find a different headgear.
All right, then now we got those 35 plus. Follow me and gentlemen.
The only thing here is a little bit of an age difference, but this is 35 plus men grand championship here. So the winner of this will take home the grand championship.
I can guarantee you, though, there's going to be some tricks up his sleeve.
Oh yeah, it's experience versus stamina here. And there is a point by Yosef. Brandt trying to get in there. And we got a point over to Yosef. 2-0. Low kick there. He has to take a minute.
Those are the old AOK rules, the growing kicks.
Yeah, it used to be legal, not legal anymore.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s and 90s, groin kicks were allowed every other year.
That's
and
right.
you could score. Reach in there, but the kick is underneath, but the point is still scored by Brandt here. Point over to Yosef. Leads by 2. And chase there, back kick. And that is a point with that back kick
10-second break, a 10-second break. The
for
score
Joseph.
is-
Joseph in the green headgear.
It is 4-1. The score is
And at the
4-1.
end of the first round, 4-1 is the score here. Joseph in the green headgear over Brandt, sorry.
Super fights are coming up
red
right
head.
after this. No breaking 10, no breaking out.
After one round,
Fair
4-1,
Rodriguez coming up
Joseph.
short with Quintana. Oh, and he got up real soon.
Joseph's measuring, gets in with the punch right to the forehead. Over the top, Joseph trying to get after the head. Got the point over to Brandt there. He got that one in. Snuck it in on Joseph. Joseph trying a little low there for a score. Comes in with a punch to the chin. And that's a point. It's a point when you get to the 35 plus.
Yeah.
You can see the difference. Joseph's movements there. Joseph pulls this off. Yuli Joseph winning the Grand Championship for 35 plus men. As we get closer and closer to the super fights coming up quickly here.
From New York.
Fixing to get crazy here at the Houston Internationals. One of AOK, the AOK has tournaments all over the state of Texas. AOK was one of the largest leagues for quite a while in the United States, and it was all in Texas. You believe that? It was bigger than
Yeah,
a
I think
lot
when I was growing up, the AOK was probably one of the premier leagues in Texas. I know the NBL was kind of more nationwide, but if you wanted some good competition, you would find it at AOK tournaments.
Oh, yeah. And they were one of the largest in the country, but they were just in Texas.
Yeah.
A lot of the national leagues didn't have as many people. AOK is one of those Texas leagues that have come from the old PKL and PKC. PKC making a comeback,
Yeah.
which is the pro karate circuit.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me get your attention.
But you see a lot of the mixed martial artists still competing
Listen to
in.
me closer so you can understand the rules. Right now, the person talking on the side of you, smack them because they should not be talking to you this big.
It's like we're going to get ready here for super fights.
Now, I'm going to talk a little more so you can hear me. The rules on the first 1 minute, 1 minute is AOK rule. That's what you just
So
competed
the
with
same
today.
rules, but it's
The
1
second
minute.
round, the second round is USKA rules. This is a short version of USKA rules. One, every technique must have a chamber.
First up is the girls, Quintana.
chamber. Every
Facing
technique
Mel
must have-
Rodriguez.
Must have a chamber and rechamber. Nobody looking at me. Y'all look over here.
For the first super fight of the evening, here we go, folks.
Now, another rule is that you're on a raised platform, so both AOK and USKA, you can have ground fighting for 3 seconds. In AOK, you cannot go to the head, and USKA, you can go to the head. In USKA, groin kicks are legal.
Oh boy, groin kicks are legal. So the first look at Dave.
USKA groin kicks are legal. Spin kicks without a rechamber is not a point. And if I have to overrule anyone, any judges, I will do so, meaning that it has to have a rechamber.
That means they must bring their leg back to the body after a spin
There
kick.
is grab that's allowed.
That's hard.
Very.
Now, You got room for 2 questions. I'm only answering 2 questions. Anybody have a question? Oh, that's fantastic.
So the first minute will be A-OK rules,
Now, our first 2 fighters.
which groin contact and ground fighting is not allowed to the head. USK rules will take over the second round, which groin kicks are allowed, and head contact is allowed on the ground for 3 seconds. Interesting.
And the ground rules is only to the body, correct?
Right, in AOK, you can hit the body within 3 seconds. You cannot hit to the head. USKA, you can.
You can. Okay.
Which, so the second round of each fight, if somebody goes down, they can still hit them in the head for 3 seconds. Now, from a standpoint like me being a medic at a tournament,
Yeah, that's where
Lot of
you're going to have to
chances
be on the edge of your seat.
there's a lot of chances to somebody to get really hurt. See some of the crowd here. Comes Rodriguez up to the stage. Rodriguez, the super fight of the day. Will take on this Quintana. Only have an A.
Our next competitor is from Northside Karate, Mrs. Angel Quintana. Come on down, Miss Quintana.
And here she comes. Down the aisle coming. It's Angel Quintana from Northside Karate here in Houston for the first super fight of the day. 1 minute will be AOK rules, and the second minute will be USKA. So the dynamics will change for the fighters here during the fight. Which, wow, that's different. They can choose not to wear headgear if they don't want to. They can. Obviously, the girls have to wear a top.
Yeah.
The boys do not. And we've got Donald Mullins taking on Kurt Bullock later on. Those guys are in their 60s, and they will be going head-to-head here just shortly. They're from way back when people used to really hurt each other in tournaments.
Yeah.
And here we go. 1 point over to Quintana here. Spin kick. 2 points to Quintana, 3-0. Quintana taking the lead here in the first super fight. 1 point over to Rodriguez. 2 points, 3-2. Quintana leads. Headshot coming in. 1 point, tied up at 3. Point over to Quintana from Houston. She's in the lead. No points. 4-3 Quintana. 2 points over to Rodriguez. Now it's 5-4. And a point to Quintana ties it up at 5 at the end of the first round. Now the rules will change, and it gets more harder. Tied up at 5, 5-5. These girls are putting it out.
The second round is USKA rule. Judges, you must have a recheck.
You can always tell it's work right. The girls are not scared. They will go toe-to-toe very quickly. 5-5 is the score. Groin contact will be a point in this round. And there's a back fist by Rodriguez, but it's not called. The point goes to Quintana, 6-5. Quintana scores again, 2 points, up by 3. Another point, no. 1 point goes to Rodriguez there. Quintana still leading, Quintana in the black. 1 point to Quintana on that. Quintana taking a big lead here. Nice kick up underneath, takes the arm. That does not count as a point, but they hit the body. Headshot by Rodriguez, but a punch underneath shows up, point to Quintana. 5-1. In the second, 2 points over that, but it's not enough. So Angel Quintana will come out with the win here in the first super fight. Heck of a match there by the ladies.
Yeah, they opened it up really well.
Yeah, they throw it at each other pretty solid.
Yeah.
Runner-up goes to Miss Mel Rodriguez. Miss Mel Rodriguez.
Young ladies. And then the super fights too.
Winner goes to
Angel Quintana defeats Rodriguez for the first super fight. Pictures here. Quintana got a little redness around the nose there. Got popped a little hard. Coming up, super fight number 2.
Is there any way you can pick up your volume so I can hear you more?
Pick up my volume just a little bit. Awesome.
That's perfect.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? It's a little bit of a delay, so
I think just with everybody starting to clap, I'm starting to lose you a little bit.
our next fight.
Yeah.
Next fight has changed. It's changed, and we have.
So the first super fight is in the books.
Will be coming up next. It will be coming up in about 3
Angel
minutes.
Quintana
About 3 minutes.
defeating Mel Rodriguez.
Knocking the webs off right now. So you have a bit, 2 minutes to stretch your legs. Don't go nowhere. They don't go anywhere.
So get ready for a super fight. The second fight here.
Y'all want to hear me sing?
Do what?
Master Wilson, where are you, sir? Come this way, sir.
I don't know if anybody took that, but it's not a good idea. So we'll get some different refs for the second fight here in Super Fight 2. I'd like to welcome everybody to Refero Sports Network. Thank you for joining us here and seeing something a little different. Ryan Linney here on camera, Billy Swinney and Zach Borrego here on the mics. Preliminary tournament is over. Now we're in super fights. Had one down. And a couple more as one fighter is getting ready. And earlier today, Garrett Lee was competing in forms and he hurt his knee, so he will not be fighting Borrego tonight.
Ready.
There's Breck Mills standing behind us coming up from Louisiana. With a friend of ours from Shreveport. Bossier City, sorry. And here comes some guys here as we get ready for Troy Smith versus Husani Salah. And Troy Smith up into the ring. Wish we'd got to talk to Troy earlier a little bit more. And Salah will come shirtless to the ring. Husani coming from Mississippi. And here he comes for Super Fights, our second match of the evening.
Husani definitely brought a crowd with him.
Oh yeah, he brought his own cheering crew. As we get ready to go here, Super Fight second match, Troy Smith versus Husani Salah. And here we go. High kick by Smith.
Nice quick kick.
2 points to Smith, 2-0. And a fist comes across from Salah over the head and low kick. But a point nonetheless, 2-1. Smith tries a high kick, punches in the back, doesn't count. Underneath comes Salah with the kick. And he scores. No point there on that exchange. Smith trying to dig a foot. A jumping spin kick by Salah. Doesn't get all the way there. Kick underneath by Smith. Kind of lost his way there when he turned around. So after the first round, it is
Scores 3-2.
3. 3-3. No, 3-2. Salah. Salah is shirtless, and he leads by 1. Here we go, second round, different rules. Groin contact is allowed here. High kick by Smith, but on the ground. We'll see what the judges say here. No score. As Salah comes in with the face contact. Smith into the stairs.
Face
No
contact is
confirmation.
allowed lightly, correct?
1 point to Salah. It's 4-2 now. Salah leads. And an underneath kick and a punch by Salah picks up a point. 5-2, Salah. Ooh, and that is close to a kick in the face. Smith was trying to duck down. And a point only for the punch there. Time is up, and Salah will take this match with a healthy lead. 6-2.
That was fast, man. Within 2 minutes, they probably threw 200 techniques.
Yeah, I didn't count them all, but it seemed like that many.
Yeah.
But that's what you get with these intense fights. I mean, hoping the next 5 connect.
Yeah.
In the half second, you throw them. Salah takes the first match. Troy Smith will take second. Husani Salah winning the second match here at Super Fights.
I need you back on stage. Don't leave us. It's Troy, don't leave us. Don't leave us. Get back on stage.
And they got to take some pictures together. First ever time doing Super Fights live. This was a test, both by the Sport Karate World. First time they've ever gone live at Super Fights. And hopefully this thing will get bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think the more eyes that see how entertaining sport karate can be, the bigger it'll get.
Oh, I
So,
know. I mean, yeah, you see the World Cup is on ESPN2, but you only see the finals. You
Right.
don't get to see everything that happens.
right.
And each tournament's different. You see different people. You see some that you don't see elsewhere, but
Right.
the talent is through the roof.
100%, man. And
I mean, all the
each-
way from the little bitty kids up.
That's what I was just about to say. Each division brings it, you know, in their own ways.
I heard Warrior Nation is donating some money to us so that we can pay some of the competitors.
That was a great division in the underbelts earlier, in the 8-year-old divisions, and that was an 8-year-old boy, and he was never touched all day. He had like 12
Wow.
people to go up against, and he was not touched all day.
Yeah.
He beat everybody.
Our next fight from San Antonio, Miss Miranda. Miss Miranda will be coming down. And from West Texas will be Miss Kayla. Miss Kayla is our next fight in 1 minute. And we come back up in 1 minute.
Yeah. So, fighter getting ready. So,
I believe this is going to be the rematch.
1 minute is from San Antonio, Miss Miranda.
oh, let me show Ryan so he can show that one. This is our next match.
On deck
As
is
Miranda
Mr. Mullins,
Inocencio
Don Mullins, Don
from
Mullins,
San Antonio,
and Mr.
from
Walter Bryant.
Borrego's The Dojo.
Right now we have
Zach here's
San Antonio versus
homeschool.
West Texas. They're coming up, getting ready. San Antonio about ready.
And as you can see, the Borregos are surrounding over there. I got Zach tied up on the air. And she will be taking on Miss Raider from, what did he say, West Memphis?
I think he said West Texas. I was trying
West
to
Texas.
figure out. Yeah.
One of the West Texas girls out in the AOK. AOK reaches as far as San Angelo,
Oh, you enjoy yourself, baby.
Abilene,
You enjoy yourself.
all the way up to Possum Kingdom. They have a tournament way up there,
Wow.
Take a picture of one of these fighters.
right off the Oklahoma border.
We want to make sure they have a good time. Because we're now ready for the next fight. We're ready for the next fight.
As we wait for Raider to be prepared. And she is.
Oh, my judges.
And we're switching some more judges.
Step out for this round. Grandmaster Stevens, step out and stretch this round. Grandmaster Stewart, bow in. Grandmaster Stewart.
And as he tries to get a hold of Stewart over there,
Stewart. Grandmaster Mills. Both y'all step bow in. Up.
so Breck Mills from Louisiana comes in to judge. And Daryl Bigfoot Stewart from Texas City with the cowboy hat. One of the bare knuckle fighters from the 60s and 70s. Huh? You're okay. Like he was going to remove it anyway.
I was going to
There.
say, ever since a kid, I don't think I've ever seen him without a cowboy hat.
I have. That's
You're
super
one of the
rad.
limited few.
The one time, it was only for a couple of seconds,
Yeah.
but there's no rabbits living under there. So we're seeing a blink. And here comes Inocencio from San Antonio in the red. The Borrego clan right behind. As we get ready for some more ladies. There you see Miranda Inocencio getting ready.
What we call the blue color. What we call the blue color. Coming from away of Warrior Nation. Our beautiful Miss Monica is the instructor. And we have Miss Rhea coming down the line.
And here comes Miss Raider coming in from way out in West Texas.
Are we ready?
Won a grand championship early.
Now
Now to face Miranda Inocencio in the super fights.
Now that they already know each other, this one's going to be probably a little bit more calculated.
Oh yeah, this will be a little more intense.
Ain't okay rules. Ain't okay rules.
The Dojo versus Warrior Nation here.
Okay rules.
Raider in the black, Inocencio in the red. And here we go. And finally a stopper there. I thought, wow, they're going to let him keep going, continuous. And going to take the contacts out.
Yep.
Inocencio says,
She's going to have to use the force now.
hey, yep. Whoa, nice inside around by Inocencio. That's going to be 2 for her. Over the head and back. Nice round kick to the head. 1 point over the Raiders. And we got 3-1 here. Another point to Inocencio. 4-3. Inocencio. And no score there. So 4-3, Inocencio leads after the first round.
Yeah, you can tell the difference from the first time they fought to the second time, yeah.
Seems like Inocencio bringing it harder. But the super fights are that way. They're a little bit stronger.
I mean, groins are legal. Takedowns are legal. Rechamber. You must rechamber.
And here we go, round 2. Inocencio leads.
You must rechamber.
No score.
Rechamber.
Oh,
You must
feedback on that. Poor score goes to Raider.
Should be
So
tied
4-4.
now, 4-4.
Tied up.
The score is 4-4. So it's 4-4.
No connecting technique yet. Measuring Raider trying to chase here. Score to Inocencio, 5-4. Inocencio in the red. Straight punch to the head here. Point over to Raider. Tied up again at 5. 1 point. One point to Inocencio.
Wow, on the last call.
Last call of the fight, and Inocencio pulls it out. So,
Like I said, man,
and
once you
Inocencio
already
wins
fought,
that.
yeah, once you already fight someone, you kind of know what they're doing, and you can make changes from there. So
Yeah,
Good adjustments.
Especially when the fights are only about 30 minutes apart.
Right.
It's really telling when you face each other in a division during the day and then you face in the super fight. It's just a little more harder.
Credit to both ladies, though. You could tell, you know, they.
Oh, they kept it close all the
Yeah.
way. And Asensio, winner of her match in super fights.
That one was very close. That was a good fight.
Yeah. I mean, Inocencio pulled away there at the first, and then Raider brought it back, and they stayed tied right there. I thought we were going to go to sudden death on them.
Yeah, I did. I kind of wanted it.
yeah. Yeah, it would have been more. It's more exciting when it goes to sudden death.
Yeah.
And Vegas is going to take a little break from center referee as we get for the next match.
When's the next AOK tournament? Do you know?
Next week,
Next week.
I believe.
Will that one be in Houston as well?
I don't know. I believe it's up near Dallas.
Okay.
I believe. I know the next one I'll be going to will be in Austin. Moses Williams, who is not here today. Our thoughts and prayers are with Moses, with a loss in the family. He has a really good tournament up in Austin, and his is 1 week before mine. His is in Austin, and mine's in Refugio.
And when will yours be?
It'll be July the 9th
July 9th.
in Refugio. And it's a little crazier. It's not the same as a regular tournament. We have tag team fights. We have
wow.
we have a close encounter where the ring is only 5 foot by 5 foot.
Wow.
Yeah, we do things a little bit different. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not an affiliated, but it's a lot of fun. Even the kids have a battle ball point sparring match.
Whoa.
Yeah, it gets crazy, man. We do some fun stuff. We're getting ready for Donald Mullins versus Kurt Bullock. Now, these are a little bit more aged gentlemen here. They've been around a while. And usually when you get into this age category, punchers are real haymakers.
Yeah.
You can feel the wind down here sometimes from their techniques. Donald Mullins, known quite a while. He's supported a lot of the AOK stuff. And his brother, Skipper Mullins, who was one of the bare knuckle fighters from way back when. We lost him a year or two ago. Really nice guy. Actually was one of the consultants on Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh, wow.
It's funny, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people in this room were in the movie Sidekicks with Chuck Norris, including me.
Man, I'm sitting next to royalty then.
Well, you got George Minshew, who is actually credited. He's here. And a lot of people here were in the movie. Linda Denley, one of the premier women point fighters in the country. Very well respected.
How did that come about? Was Houston just a hotbed for martial arts at the time, or?
It's Texas was the hotbed. And that's why you hear about the Sport Karate Museum here in Houston. It covers a lot of Texas people because Texas people were actually feared around the United States a lot. I mean, Linda Denley used to compete in BL back in the 90s. And there were people in the Northeast of them just plain scared.
Yeah.
Chris Minshew over here to our left, she fought her quite a bit. Chris Minshew winning a few world titles herself. in women's sparring. And they're from that early 90s area,
Yeah.
late 80s. But they are fierce. Those fighters from back then just scare the pants off of you. I mean, Linda asked me one time, would you like to spar? And I said, I dreamt about it the other day. That's about as close as I want to get.
Yeah. even in my own dream, it didn't go well.
Yeah. So we're waiting on, I imagine, Bullock to get prepared. Really Rao, a winner at my tournament last year. Jamie Sampson won my tournament, won $500. Both of them for forms and fighting grand champion.
Man, $500, you're eating good for that whole week.
Well, that's another thing. We give away a lot of money.
Oh.
The close encounters, the 5 foot by 5 foot ring is $100.
Oh, okay.
Then we have the Black Belt Challenge, which is 4 rings at the same time.
Wow. Individual matches in each ring?
Right.
Okay.
The first one to 5 points on the entire floor wins $20. And you go all the way up
Ah.
to 200.
Wow.
But you rotate the fighters after each match.
I see.
And you can win some of it or all of it.
That seems like a fun tournament to be on live the entire time. That's entertaining.
It
man.
is. It's pirate themed. It's on the Gulf Coast. and,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's Refugio. So we call it the Coastal Bend Championships. Coming up July 9th and 8th. We usually have our celebrity come in for a seminar. We had Sylvester Stallone's stuntman come in and do some action acting seminar last year.
Wow.
We've had a few come down. We had Billy Blanks one year. That was a long time ago. But we're waiting on a fighter to get ready here. A little break. And
All right, people. Uh-oh.
they switch it.
Here we have the way.
How did you hear that? I didn't hear it. So Mullins, Donald Mullins now making his way to the ring. Now coming in. And I am told he was going to switch. He will be fighting Walter Bryant. Donald Mullins, no stranger to the ring. And his opponent, we're waiting for him to make his appearance.
We have Brad Walter Bryant.
And here comes Walter Bryant from Northside Karate here in Houston to take on Donald Mullins. This is going to be a fight, I guarantee you. Both of these guys, no strangers to the sparring ring.
Bryant seems like to be the home time favorite.
Well, yeah, with Northside, that's David Chambers, folks. And naturally, here's the promoter. He brings more folks. Here we go with Mullins and Bryant. He's the older gentleman in the group.
We'll say well experienced.
Huh?
I said we'll say well experienced.
Oh, yeah. And power unleashed sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And here we go. Touch of the glove, and we're underway. Mullins trying to dig in, measuring. Over the top comes Bryant with a point. 1-0. No point. 1-0 Bryant. Bryant in the white. Mullins in the blue. Mullins trying to dig in. No score there. Oh, under punch by Bryant. Snuck it into the ribs. High axe kick and a punch by Mullins. 1 point goes to Mullins for that. 2-1. Big haymaker over the top by Bryant. Scores. 3-1. And that'll be into the first. Not a lot of scoring there, but
Very calculated chess match.
and some expression of a little bit of power, some of those hand takes. I mean, that underhand punch, like
I think
the
it
folded
knocked the
Mullins
mouthpiece out of Bryant.
So we're 3-1. Bryant leads.
On the line.
No reach there by Mullins. Mullins gets popped in the face. That is not counted. These guys have been around the ring for a while, so they really calculate each other.
Oh, yeah.
1 point to Bryant. So 4-1. Bryant in the white, in the lead here underneath. That's why you don't take your eyes away.
Yeah.
No
This
point
rule
there.
set, you have to rechamber your technique. I think Mullins might have forgot that one.
Yeah. And some of these guys aren't used to the ASK rules where you have to rechamber and pull that punch back.
And the last pass, 1 point went to red. The score is Mr. Mullins 4.
And Mr. Mullins is
3. I got one good out. Mr. Mullins 3. And Master Walter Bryant.
is okay. So Walter Bryant pulls off the win. Oh no, here we go. A little bit more time left in the second round. Mullins trying to find a way and gets a backhand in there. I don't know if it connected. Time. No score on that last. 5-3. Bryant wins.
That was a good fight.
It was a very good fight. And this is first for Sport Karate. Hopefully we can do this a lot more.
Oh, for sure. Especially on days like this where, you know, maybe someone couldn't make it out because of the weather or whatever it may be. It gives people an option to still stay in the loop.
A lot of you folks watching that have never seen this before. This is why you get your kid in the martial arts.
On deck.
Oh, 100%.
Because
Rogers on deck.
the camaraderie at a tournament, the competition, the talent, the focus, it's amazing. And it's
A lot of people
like
don't
they
realize,
say,
though.
They say, I'm sorry.
No,
but
I was
they
just going to
the
say,
youth-
a lot of people don't realize how hard it is just to perform on stage, you know, and with people watching. And martial arts definitely helps build that confidence just to give you the ability to go up there and perform.
in front of people, yeah.
Yeah.
And the work it takes just to become a black belt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not just black belts here. There was underbelts earlier, but it's dedication to something. It's a different mindset
Right.
than most sports. Because this you're going to have for the rest of your days. You don't forget it. It doesn't go away. You don't
Right.
retire. You still have the knowledge the rest of your life. And we've had 80-year-olds up here on this stage. We've had kids that are 3 competing on stage. So there's no age limits here. And we got another super fight coming up here shortly. A couple of them, actually. Oh, that Ryan doing some dynamic camera work here. That was a nice shot of the rug. And here we come with G. Mason. This is Rogers, and he will be taking on Yuli Osef. Austin Rogers and Yuli Osef, both in the Grand Champions earlier, but this is the super fights. It's a bit different.
All the way from New York is Mr. Yusef.
Yuli Yosef. And here he makes his way to the ring. This will be a dynamic fight right here.
What is it going to be?
Rogers with a little bit of a height advantage.
But Yusuf's already shown, man, he's very elusive, he's quick, he knows how to pick his shots, so this is going to be a good match.
Team DKS from New York facing the Texas boy in Austin Rogers. Austin Rogers in the red. Yuli Osef in the green headgear. And here we go.
Here we go.
And there's a hand technique by Yosef. Garners him a point, 1-0.
Yusuf showing his speed right there.
A little bit of temptation and a blitz and another score. 2-0, Yosef. Another blitz there underneath by Rogers, doesn't connect. Yosef with a run in. Point to Rogers, 2-1. Yosef comes back with a head punch, 3-1, Yosef. Underneath. And Rogers off the stage.
Oh, he said you don't need a minute. You don't need a minute. He said you don't need a minute. Time is gone. Time is gone.
So that's the first round there. 4-1, Yosef leads Rogers. Rogers taking the tumble off the stage.
You have a 30-time and a 10-second time.
Underneath. Not seen. Point goes to Joseph. 5-1. Joseph playing a little bit here.
That's the entertainment aspect of sports martial arts.
And there's a head
brings.
technique. Yeah, that little dancing move.
Yeah.
This is the point they're having fun. Whoa. Joseph trying to get away. The head techniques. 7-2. Is that a readjustment? Now Joseph really
stance.
playing. The little crane technique from the Karate Kid showed up. Oh, to the back of the head. Point over to Rogers. And time. And Joseph with the win. Yeah, Joseph really showing off a lot of speed.
Yeah, dynamic stuff.
And you notice that with a lot of dynamic fighters. They'll throw something and make you think you're coming that way and come from a totally different
Completely
direction.
different direction, yep.
And it's just a ploy technique to get a point, but it works.
The runner-up today goes to Mr. Austin Rogers. Good job, sir. Good respect, sir. Winner from New York goes to Mr. Houston. Good job, sir.
Really also, that's the thing about sportsmanship here. Everybody is friends. You know, almost siblings here. We're
Yeah.
all family.
Our next fight
I consider every tournament a family reunion.
is a secret.
That just happens every other week.
That's one way to look at it.
Sometimes I don't know if I wouldn't even want to go to my regular family reunion. I'd rather come to one of these. We'll switch out some judges.
I told you earlier this is our last two. We have from right here in Houston, Texas. I'm looking for is Mr. Charlie. He's about to come in. Oh! Don't miss this, y'all. We coming to the climax. Oh, he's not well back now.
Can't see it. It's written. Okay, this is not a fight that was regularly scheduled. But I can tell you who it is. As soon as I find it. This is, I don't know his first name, Ontiveros. Mr. Ontiveros here.
In the blue corner, by the way of San Antonio, we have Mr. Borrego.
And here comes Mr. Borrego, your brother, coming in to fight Mr. Ontiveros. I can't remember his first name. And Nathaniel has been doing a lot of MMA lately.
Yeah, he's going to school in Oregon. He's part of an MMA club out there. So he's visiting in town and wants to mix it up. So it's going to be a good fight.
I can't wait to see him fight MMA. I see it all the time on Facebook, but I want to really go see him. Nathaniel in the black uniform against Ontiveros, shirtless. And here we go. High kick by Ontiveros, doesn't connect. Jumping spin kick, but punches come out. A little bit of intensity. 1.2 Borrego. Dad there to help him back up on the stage before rolling off. 2 points over. Two to 1. 3 to 1 Ontiveros.
Nate's got to keep his hands up.
Goes to the back. Borrego pulls out the point there. 4 to 2. Borrego trying to make it back. Kicks come in. No score. First round is complete. 4 to 2 Ontiveros. Have a minute left. Now switches to USKA rule.
I think they're both big bodies, so a lot of their moves are kind of canceling each other out. I think we're going to see a lot more clashes, yeah.
A lot of fast techniques until they end up hugging each other.
Yeah.
Little testing. Measure. Ontiveros moves in on the first. Clean technique, comes up with a kick. No score. Kick to the arm there. Punch comes in underneath, but did the judges see it? Point goes over to Borrego. 4 to 3. 5 to 3. Punch by Borrego comes in. Point over to Ontiveros. 1 point that way, 6 to 3. Oh, nice kick to the head by Borrego. A little bit of extracurricular activity there, which you will get when tempers flare a little bit. Here's Borrego, nice clean kick. 5 to 4 Borrego. 6 to 5. Ontiveros pulls it off by 1. Borrego kept him on his toes.
Yeah.
Heck of
Great
a fight.
fight.
Two good fighters. The super fights. Nathaniel Ontiveros, an English major at Oregon University.
Yeah.
Or the
That's a
University
good
of Oregon.
show of sportsmanship right there, man.
Oh,
Both
yeah.
of them go at it, and they're both equally,
Still pop
you know,
each other,
respectful
get a
of
little
the other.
angry,
Yeah.
but you're still friends when it's all over. About evenly height.
Yeah.
Not the even, I mean, it's just pretty close to even as you can get it there.
Yeah.
A lot of great techniques in that fight. Really
Yep.
good techniques. So
I'm gonna go give him some congratulations real
All right,
quick.
man, you go ahead. As Zach takes off to give his brother a hug there. Nathaniel his brother. Real nice. We have one more super fight coming up. That was a good fight. That was a good fight.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it, doing better than anybody you ever seen. Do it.
As we get ready for Mason and Jones. Mason taking the stage first in black. Mason from out west, West Texas, from Warrior Nation. And he will be taking on D. Jones. And here comes Jones, making his way to the ring with a big crew. From the great state of Mississippi, Jones in the gray shirt against Mason in the black for the final match of the evening. Big but Jones, but Mason is in there with the headshot. 1-0 Mason. Texas versus Mississippi here. Texas up 2-1 or 2-0. Jones tries to fight back in. No score. And down to the floor. You have 3 seconds. One person goes down to get a point. Nice punch there. Mason picks that up. 3-0. 1 point over to Jones. 3-2-1. Jones finally coming in with a point. Jones traveling all the way from Mississippi. Underneath by Mason. 1 point to Jones. 3-2. Mason. So it's 4-2 after the first round. Mason in the lead, Mason in the black uniform, Jones in the gray sweatshirt, all the way from Mississippi. Mississippi and West Texas going at it hard.
You have to now rechamber.
Oh, great head right to the noggin by Mason. 7-8. One point to Jones here. 2 points over to Mason though. trying to keep that gap. Mason in the lead. Point goes over to Jones. Tied. We're going to do a little medical there. We're back. Mason, little scratch on his eye, but he's doing okay. And Jones, it is tied. It is tied, so it'll go to sudden death. Next point will win it. Oh, so they got 1 round, no sudden death. So they get 30 seconds extra to break the tie. Jones, focus again. 1 point to Mason. We have an equipment problem. And it's a protective equipment problem. So Mason will go fix that. Scoring 1 in overtime here. So it is 1-0 technically. And here we go. Jones trying to get in there. Gets a foot up, but no contact. 1, no score, 1-0 Mason still. Punches come in. 1 point over, still tied. Still tied. So now
USAA rule. Ladies and gentlemen, you must rechange it. Royalties allowed.
okay, 30 seconds. Still tied. And time is called by the coaches. So we have another 30 seconds to break the second tie. And here we go. Down. 2 points to Mason. 2-0. We start over again as Mason gets saved from falling off the stage. He's up by 2. 30-second overtime here. 2-1. Jones scoring. Scores, comes in to score a second. See if the judges call. No score. It is still, and we still got time in, as Jones tries to come back in and get it back. What a final fight of the evening. So Mason wins the final match of the night, pulling it off in a double overtime, which was awesome. Jones from Mississippi and Mason from West Texas. Mason pulls it off for Zach Borrego, Billy Swinney, Ryan Linney. Thank you for joining us here on Refugio Sports Network for Super Fights 2. And we will go off the air. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. Have a good night.